It's Brogan and Lauren.
We're back, everybody. We missed you last week. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. And to our listeners abroad, hope you're having a nice start to the holiday season.
It's December, birthday month.
It is December. So much going on and so much to catch up on this week since we missed, I guess we're 2 weeks behind. And Brogan probably got sick of me texting her and sending her things on Instagram and articles and everything that I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this. We need to talk about this. So
my feed has completely changed since we started doing this. It used to be, a bunch of fashion and ramen. I love ramen. And now it's all sports.
you can keep up with all of it. Are you over your duck tears?
Oh my God. When your dad said, I took a minute to process what he was saying. And then I was like, oh, he's messing with me big. So yes, I finally got over the fact that USC got their ass kicked.
Too funny. We saw Brogan briefly, and my dad was like, I've got to bring something Oregon themed or duck themed for Brogan. What can I bring her? And my nephew ran off with the little Oregon Ducks football that he had to hand her. And so he just walks up to her and says, Brogan, are those duck tears?
I was totally caught off guard. I had to take a second to process what he just said. And I loved every second of it. That was a good win for you guys.
It was fun. Well, so much to talk about. Obviously, big one, college football playoff dilemma, new designer collabs. Is Serena Williams going to make a comeback? That's a big question. Lane Kiffin to LSU, massive headline, and all of the college coach shakeups. NFL season is really heating up. Eva Longoria is teaming up with the NFL for a new show, and so many more headlines. So let's get going.
A lot to process.
Should Texas get into the college football playoffs?
Yes.
Yes, a massive question, one that I didn't think that I'd be answering in that manner. But right now, Miami, Texas, and Vanderbilt sit on the outs. And number 11, BYU, is the lowest ranked 11-1 power conference team at the end of a regular season in CFP history. Every other 11-1 team since 2014 was ranked in the top 10. Kind of interesting. So they're going to have to beat number 4, Texas Tech, to get into the college football playoffs, which I think BYU is a little overrated, but they have a great record. We'll break down how this works for those of you that aren't super familiar with the playoff selection. So the playoff field is 12 teams. Of those 12, the 5 highest ranked conference champions automatically get in. And then the other 7 go to the next highest ranked teams regardless if they win their conference or not. Then once the 12 teams are determined, they get seeded by the selection committee. 1 through 4 get a bye the first round, and then 5 through 12 play their first round, and the higher seed of the 2 get to host the games. So, Brogan, should Texas get in?
I absolutely think they should get in. I'm not the biggest Texas fan, but Texas scheduled tough early season opponents, and they beat many of them. Arch was still kind of getting his footing, and becoming who he is today. But if the committee does leave them out, it does send the message that it's better to play weak teams and rack up wins rather than schedule anyone tough. So it really could discourage major programs from scheduling big matchups at the end of the day. And I think that would be a big deterrent for football.
Definitely. And the big money is in those big matchups, whether they're conference
Exactly.
or not conference. I mean, that's where the money is. And they're going to, networks, everything is going to lose out if that becomes a play just to make it into the playoffs. It was only a few years ago that the change was made for strength of schedule to matter. And now it seems like they're really not putting weight on
Emphasis on that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so strange.
It's really discouraging. I mean, people want to watch big schools play. They don't want to watch a big school play, Old Dominion or something like that. So I definitely think Texas should get in there.
And obviously, Sark, among others, has had such a strong stance on that it's going to be bad for the sport, bad for everything, if Texas doesn't get in and should. And they shouldn't get penalized for a non-conference game against the number 1 team in the country, right off the bat. And if that's how it's going to be going forward, then and that scheduling is what's going to cause them to not make the playoffs, what's the point of having those games? And I do agree with that. And I don't blame him for questioning about that. He's like, is it about your record showing you can win? Or is it showing you can play against a quality team, because scoring points against a bad team doesn't really translate to, oh my gosh, they're that good. It's more like they're really that bad, but if that's what it takes to get in,
It would be bad.
yeah. So Texas has 3 top 10 wins, the first team since 2019 to do this in a regular season, including their win against the Aggies, which Sark obviously used that interview after the Texas A&M game for his playoff team pitch, which was obviously a big platform to do that. And I'm sure he was waiting to see how that game fared before he did say anything. And obviously,
that was a big win.
Big win. Big win. But the level of quality of opponents and beating elite competition, I mean, according to ESPN, Texas has the 5th highest strength of schedule, which is one of the toughest in the country. So again, something needs to be taken into account. Texas has 3 losses, 2 of those being to Ohio State and Georgia. The loss to Florida, terrible loss. I mean, it would be a different conversation, I think, if they had won that game. And Sark acknowledged that. He said it would have been an easier path at 10-2, not losing that Florida game. But they almost lost to Kentucky as well.
Ooh.
So, I mean, that was a bad, ugly one. But
that wasn't pretty.
Not pretty. But right now they're ranked 14th and looking like they are not going to make it, folks.
You were at that game. I saw your video from your suite, but that Texas Aggies game, I was in Gen Pop and I had to leave because it was so crazy and so crowded and so much energy. It would be really disappointing if they don't get in, unfortunately.
I think so too. And I actually got excited for them after that. I thought that there was no chance that they were going to beat A&M. And I was looking forward to that, like the last 5 episodes leading up to this, just about how much I couldn't wait for A&M to come in undefeated and beat Texas at Texas. But was not the case. Was so impressed with the way Texas played. Was obviously so happy for Arch. Great statement win.
He did so well. Did you see him run it in? Huge.
Yes. And which, by the way, I think he has done more than Eli and Peyton in their careers, which is kind of impressive.
That's a hell of an accomplishment.
I know. But yes, the energy, and that I really was hesitant to go and didn't really feel like going. And sometimes I feel like watching games like that is better from home. But I did go, and I was actually glad. And obviously it's fun to go and see, friends that are in town and people I hadn't seen in a while. But the atmosphere of that night game was incredible. So I'm sure that they saved that game for a lot of recruits to come to. If I was a recruit, that would have probably won me over. From the drone shows, the lights, I mean, just the music, just everything. It was really a spectacle.
I ended up leaving and watching at the Driftwood, so it was fun there. Lots of orange.
I think a lot of people headed there after. We'll see how things shake up and what the feedback is around the board from Texas and just in general about the process. Turning the page to Lane Kiffin. Fate is found in Baton Rouge.
Man of the hour. Hated man of the hour.
A hated man of the hour. It was so funny to see how quickly the Ole Miss, obviously anyone who's a fan or a student is tied to their school and their coach, especially when they're performing as well as he's gotten the program to do right now. But to see them all at the FBO lined up, chanting and hating at him and pointing fingers as he just happily gets on the plane to leave to Baton Rouge to get his $91 million contract. It was kind of funny. I mean, haters are going to hate, but don't hate the player, hate the game, right? Like, something's got to change.
Jealous. Yeah.
Exactly.
That was pretty funny.
So funny. And I've got to give it to our guy. I love Dave Portnoy. I've been listening to him in some of his clips, but he's like, Lane Kiffin is who cracks me up. Lane Kiffin is who Lane Kiffin is. And at some point, Lane Kiffin is going to leave your football city with the town burning in the rearview mirror. I'm like, that's probably right. Nobody should have expected anything different from him. Doesn't have an ounce of moral character. He's like, I don't have a problem with it. He's like, I kind of love it. He said, we all know that he's like that. And I kind of love it for college football. So even he was kind of saying a little bit of it is the drama is good, but shouldn't come to a surprise given Kiffin's background at other schools.
The corporate jumpiness.
Totally. You can't really hate him for it when at the end of the day, it is a business decision for him.
He's advancing in his career.
And getting massive contracts from it.
Yes.
But bouncing from program to program, again, isn't the best when obviously programs are looking for stability. So that is probably something that should be taken into account when hiring him. Coaches are invested in their teams, but money talks. So a little bit of background on his coaching history, because I didn't really even know all of it. From '08 to '09, he was at Tennessee. Head coach, left after a single season for USC.
Right on.
Shocked Tennessee, exactly. Shocked Tennessee and their students, like riots, fires on campus, like literally one season, leaves for USC. 2009 to 2013, takes over USC, rebuilds them into a number one team in the preseason in 2012, and then famously was fired on the tarmac at the airport. Another instance of him having a tough time at an airport / FBO.
he loves to cause a scene.
He
at
loves
these
to get
FBOs.
the heat. Yeah. And then 2014, 2016 joins Alabama as the offensive coordinator, dismissed in the middle of a title run to prioritize his new job at FAU. 2016 to 2019, wins a Conference USA title, revives FAU, and immediately leaves for Ole Miss. Yeah. So 2019, 2025, rebuilds Ole Miss, multiple 10-win seasons, builds the brand, gets great recruits in, and then accepts the LSU job right after Ole Miss clinches their first ever college football playoff.
Well, he's building legacies, and then he's on to the next legacy. So ultimately,
we'll
see him at Alabama. That's true.
Maybe, but okay, well, we'll get there. But so Kiffin said in one of his statements, he's like, I hope when emotions settle down that there's an appreciation about what we were able to do here, having the best run that's ever been done in the history of the school, which under him was 55-19 was the record from 2020 to 2025. Pretty impressive record. Okay, I get that statement and sentiment, and there is truth to that. And you do have to appreciate as a fan, as a player under him, and admire what he has done to bring the competition here. But you just left your team high and dry.
I mean,
and not all his fault.
That's what I was going to say. The bigger issue isn't Kiffin, it's the NCAA calendar. I mean, let's be real. They are they have to choose to make these big decisions in December, which is causing all the chaos and everything just due to the, the early National Signing Day, the early transfer portal window, all that fun stuff. So ultimately, he's just kind of left out there to look like a giant dick for leaving them in this time.
He made that clear, too. He wanted to stay with the team and he wanted to coach them through the playoffs, and Ole Miss ultimately said no, which, again, I get that, too, because of everything you just said and the transfer portal and all that. And how are you going to start recruiting for LSU while you're coaching Ole Miss? And that's going to have an effect, obviously, on the incoming players and all that. I mean, it is just such a mess. But LSU is going to pay Kiffin for his Ole Miss
if they wins,
right?
Yeah,
bonuses will be paid for that for his performance, which could be up to probably $1 million if they did win the title, which I think was a good move. Again, not that $1 million is make or break in a $91 million contract, but still probably the right thing to do. And I do believe that if he could have stayed and coached it out, he would have.
I agree. I agree. Yeah. So I don't know if it's him being a dick, but the NCAA sure as hell made him look like that. So unfortunately, so we'll see how Ole Miss does.
Yeah, it's a tough position. And you also haven't really heard about LSU, like how happy they are or what that fan base is saying. Have you heard much of that? I just feel like everything's about Ole Miss hating on him more than.
Like, I think I saw one where it was just like LSU welcomes him with open arms, and there's a bunch of people like cheering, but that's probably the extent of it. I haven't seen, like major headlines, a lot of headlines just about that. So it's people like the hate, people like the drama. They like Ole Miss being all mad at him.
They just like to promote Ole Miss's current statement of you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. They're all yelling at that as he got on the plane too. So funny. God. But the funniest part to me is now he will be coaching his daughter's boyfriend. Really came full circle. After that news broke during the season where they went to the signs were there when he went in and he's like, yeah, now the whole state's calling me daddy. Well, guess what? Everyone's going to be calling him daddy now if he's the real coach there.
That's too funny. Yeah, the writing was on the wall there. That's foreshadowing if I've ever seen it.
What is his deal with hot yoga? Now all these Ole Miss girls are leaking the Lane Kiffin like hot yoga files and all that. And then his first stop the day after he got to Baton Rouge was to a new hot yoga studio.
I don't know. Maybe there's more to that story.
It was tough timing and tough position for him, but it'll all shake out.
Congrats to
him. I also liked the idea of $91 million, which actually also has a bigger buyout than Brian Kelly's, and no clause that he has to find another coaching job. So,
you know what? Also, I saw something as well, and they were saying that he didn't even know how much he was going to be paid. His agent knew, and I thought that was the most bullshit statement ever.
I thought the same thing. How do you not know unless you have it formally written what is a yes or no make or break to your agent and you just let them handle it? But to say you have no idea is just absolutely false.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's like, okay, we're making these decisions. And didn't he use he's Saban and Pete Carroll, they all kind of helped him in his decision making. I'm like, so
I'm
the money
sure
wasn't part of that?
Yeah, exactly. Not part of the discussion of or what you could have
Yeah.
gotten elsewhere. No,
Yeah.
definitely so. The other thing that I liked to hear was when people were saying that Eli Manning should be the Ole Miss coach, and Eli responded to it and said, Coach Manning has a nice ring to it. That would have been awesome. I bet he would be a phenomenal coach. Obviously, he's not going to be. They're keeping somebody from their staff as head coach, but I would have loved that.
That would be cool. Yeah, he'll instill some good character in those kids. But
as this year comes to a close, another major statement from Ralph Lauren. After this year, he won American Women's Wear Designer of the Year. His first award of that was and in January received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, highest civilian honor in the U.S., which is kind of cool.
I love it.
So cool. The first fashion designer to ever be honored with Presidential Medal of Freedom. Very cool. But to round it out, the U.S. is celebrating their 250th anniversary with major plans next year. I've already seen that British royal family and other dignitaries and people are set to attend, world leaders, to the festivities. But interestingly enough, the United States Postal Service is actually older than that and is celebrating its 250th anniversary this year.
So fascinating. This was when you were sharing this with me, I had to actually look it up, and it was actually pretty fascinating.
I know. I had no idea. So it was originally called the Post Office Department and was established in 1775. Benjamin Franklin was appointed as the first Postmaster General. And then 5 years later, the U.S. Post Office Department was established. So in order to pay homage to that, Ralph Lauren created this capsule to show the lasting influence of mail carriers and their uniforms. And I think that it is so well done. It looks so official, so Ralph Lauren, so American. It's a double-breasted blue blazer, gold buttons, throwback hat with the jumping horse, like classic Ralph Lauren style. I just thought it was so interesting. And obviously, that's a little bit off topic to this, but
it's worth mentioning. Definitely. I mean, Ralph Lauren is a staple. I want my entire life aesthetic to be Ralph Lauren.
And now the whole trend this year, everything you see is Ralph Lauren Christmas, and everyone wants their houses Ralph Lauren Christmas, colors, candles, tree, all of it.
Yeah.
I mean, he is an icon, and I just think the timing of everything, his presidential Medal of Freedom, all of that, and then to round it out with this post office capsule is just so American, and the only person that would do that is him, and I love it.
Legend.
And in other post office news, since we're going to stay off a little topic, you know that I love Bend and I love spending time up there, and it's one of my favorite places in Oregon, obviously, ever. And in the middle of downtown, which you still have to come up and see it, there's this beautiful old post office that is turning into it was just abandoned, but turning into a boutique hotel called the Westman. And the namesake for the hotel is Minnie Westman, who in the 1800s at 20 years old rode horseback through the Oregon mountains, middle of nowhere, to deliver mail to an unserved region. And all she carried with her was her mail and a revolver. How cool is that? I love it. So in 1888, the New York Times actually ran an article about her as the first woman mail carrier west of the Mississippi. And I just love, again, paying homage to the Post Office and Postal Service that they went back for this building in Bend, Oregon, of all places, and find the history to go back to Minnie Westman and name it after that.
That's a hell of a story, Lauren. Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you for sharing that.
I hope everyone appreciates it as much as I do, because I just thought that was awesome. So thanks for listening, everyone. We'll move on to sneakers.
Just sneakers, even better.
Yeah, even better. So we can add this to the ranks of very cool things. So there is a law class that I was reading about at SMU, and it is one of the coolest courses curriculums I've ever heard of. So Jenny Davis was an SMU law grad, has a background in fashion, has written textbooks, been a stylist, and now she's teaching this course, and she's going to continue it in the spring of 2026, and it introduces students to the $80 billion sneaker business. How cool is that?
Those sneakers. Are you a sneaker collector?
I love my sneakers. I appreciate my sneakers. The business behind all of it is what I find so interesting, and that's her whole point. It's the connection of sports, fashion, and culture all tied together with legal themes. And her whole premise of this was that as these collabs continue to grow, the glue that's holding them together is law, and that the relevancy of the class and the business and the law behind all of this is only getting more and more relevant as partnerships and collaborations like Nike and Skims and all these designers with the NFL becoming more and more prominent. I just think if I was a law student and I was wanting to go into sports, business, or management, I would take this class in 2 seconds.
Yeah, even if I wasn't in law, I'd be interested.
Exactly. I'm like, maybe I want to go back to school, right?
No. I was going to say, I don't know. Well, I always tell Adam that. I'm like, should I go get my MBA? He's like, why? You don't even want to work. I'm like,
the project for this class, the students use AI to create these sneaker designs, and then they're pitched to soccer executives and players that are SMU alumni from Trinity FC in Dallas. And then they also sent them to representatives at Nike that provided feedback. The professor's idea was to make professional connections to the students so that they could see what goes inside the making of these brands and collaborations and everything you have to think about from a legal perspective to produce something that will succeed. I just think the whole thing is so amazing.
I like the premise.
And what a good experience for the students.
They'll remember that class.
They sure will. The World Cup draw is taking place this Friday at the Kennedy Center in D.C., co-hosted by the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Obviously, things are ramping up for the World Cup. And FIFA has announced that the Village People are going to be performing Trump's favorite, the YMCA.
I love that. Oh my God. I love when Trump does that YMCA dance.
Oh, and now athletes do it. And I guess it was, the Lions guy did it after he scored his touchdown against the Commanders. It's all over. Inter Miami is going to host Vancouver in Miami this Saturday for the MLS Cup. That'll be fun to watch. And Messi is currently enjoying his best single season of any MLS soccer player in history.
Just saw his wife, because I feel like we hear a lot about Ronaldo's wife. Mm-hmm. Ronaldo's wife. That we don't know much about her, but I saw this video and this guy was like trying to ask her about his watch, one of those TikTokers. Hey, like, what watch are you wearing? And she was like, oh, and she thought she was like in the way, and she just like looked like the sweetest, most beautiful person ever. So I need to follow her more often.
She does seem to, and just not as flashy in the spotlight. Exactly. Or trying to make a name for herself independently of him. And seems like so family oriented and great. That's funny, though, that was her default, that she was, like, in somebody's way.
Yeah, she was, like, jumped out of the way. It's like, you're Messi's wife. Like, yeah. They're in your way.
Stand your ground. Yeah. So he has 61 goals and assists across the season, which is pretty impressive. So that'll be a good game. Maybe that's your soccer game to tune into, Brogan, if you didn't want to watch the women's soccer championship.
That does seem like a good one.
There's speculation that Serena Williams will maybe making a comeback after she re-entered the International Tennis Integrity Agency's registered testing pool. She quickly said immediately, like, I'm not, what is everyone saying? Like, I'm not coming back. Why would I be doing that? Okay, well, what are you doing? Because there's no need to be drug tested if you're retired.
She must be bored.
I was just trying to think of like what her angle would be. Venus had made a comment about, the only thing would be better competing is if my sister was here. So I was thinking, well, maybe I don't think she'd be coming back for singles. I think she just would get crushed right now. But
she's so
coming
much
back for doubles could be
20-year-olds.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
or maybe after all of her weight loss and fitness journey, she wants to see what it's like playing lighter. I don't know. Floating around the court, but no, maybe it's a doubles play. But we'll see about that. I guess that was back in October that she entered. And what would be the reasoning if you're not going to play?
Just wants her name back in that headlines.
Well, it's there. And speaking of headlines, our girl, Carly Ursay
Oh.
Gordon, she was taking part in My Cause, My Cleats. Did you see them? They're these bright lime
Yeah,
green and bright blue
they are
Balenciagas.
something.
Something. And then her sisters were wearing white boots with the same blue and green to show support for kicking this stigma, which is of mental health and mental health disorders, which their father founded in 2020.
I love that.
But there she was again, talking about staying in the headlines. It's her.
Good for her. She's playing it well.
Patrick Mahomes extended his Adidas contract with his own golf line. Random.
Who in the hell who plays golf would want to buy Patrick Mahomes stuff? That's so interesting.
I think it's weird enough that Texas Tech players want his logo on their football uniforms. Like, who's going to wear Patrick Mahomes golf? First of all, it's Adidas. Second of all, it's him. And third, what does that have to do with golf? Like, I
They're
do
not
not
related.
see it. No. But obviously, he's trying to build his brand outside of football. And he's actually going to have a collab with Messi and others, but not seeing that.
I don't see success in that.
No. And the National Women's Soccer League final was the most watched ever. We got those numbers back last week while we were on hiatus. 1.184 million viewers. First time ever to cross 1 million viewers. That's pretty big.
That is massive.
Still trending up.
If you had the money to invest, I'm sure you'd be rolling in it right now.
Right? I would have bought the Boston Legacy. It would have been mine. I'd be up there right now in the snow, so happy, just cheering on my team.
The next Carly
getting ready
there.
to cheer them on. Yes. And then Nike and Jacquemus. I am not quite sure I pronounced that correctly, but they just launched this 18-piece après-ski winter lifestyle capsule.
I have not, no.
If anyone's following us, you would have been seeing it because I've been reposting it because I think it's so well done and the ads are really well done. But you should check it out if you haven't seen it. And so the core of the collection is this triple layer Gore-Tex, which is a Nike technology. Jackets and pants, obviously built to withstand snow, wind, rain, all the elements. But then Jacquemus reimagined it and designed it. He said he's had a fascination with skiing, and through this collaboration, it brings a different new fashion story into the ski community. Very well done.
Like everybody's jumping on the ski wagon. It's the cool thing to do.
It is. And Viore just jumped on. We previously talked about Gucci, obviously, with Yannick Sinner modeling for them. It is the trendy kind of elite luxury thing to do. One of my favorite images was a swoosh carved into the mountainside and all done in snow, like in the mountains. And it was obviously a very distinct. It was so cool. Definitely done by AI. It was one of those that I didn't even have to think twice that it wasn't. Props to the branding and the collaboration and the creative behind it because it was just beautifully done.
I love it.
F1, Saudi Arabia is building a $500 million Formula One track that's going to be half the size of Singapore. What?
That is just nutty. That is absolutely insane.
It's just wild. So it's a 21-circuit track, and it's going to feature the world's first ever cantilever track section that's going to be suspended 70 meters, which is about the equivalent of like a 20-story building, with a 10-degree slope called the Blade. How intense does that sound?
I mean, going over, that's like one of those like overpasses here in Texas. I'm still getting used to how big they are, but I can't imagine driving a race car like down it.
At that speed. I know. I'm trying to think of like what the cantilever track. I mean, I think about it when I think of like obviously buildings with like cantilever components, but I'm trying to think how that would even work as a track.
That sounds so fascinating. I hope their drivers are safe, but I'll be excited to see.
Buckle up, everybody.
Yeah, seriously. But they're going to be going real slow around that corner.
Yes. And then alongside, they're going to have the tallest and fastest roller coaster ever, which again, we don't know what that means. We're going to see. So that drivers can race along.
Oh, God.
That's wild to me. Like, what is that going to look like? I mean, talk about buckle up. Like, I'm not a roller coaster person, but that sounds fast and high and like a no thank you.
There's absolutely zero chance I will get on that.
Max Verstappen just won again in Qatar. That's his 7th win of the season. And we have the last race of the season coming up in Abu Dhabi, which looks like a cool course as well. So,
it is very cool. Yeah.
It's a good one to end the season. Yeah. Some NCAA volleyball, something we haven't really talked about, but again, turning into a sport that just keeps rising up. The tournament bracket is set. The seeds are set for the national championship. The number one seeds for the brackets are Texas, Kentucky, Pitt, and Nebraska. And I think Nebraska is the favorite to win.
Go Cornhuskers. I absolutely love Nebraska. My grandpa used to coach Nebraska basketball, men's, and he was an assistant coach. So we're big Cornhusker fans. And he loves watching the girls volleyball. And I'm like, Grandma, why does he like it so much? And she's like, it's because of the short shorts. So I think that's
I think he's not alone in that.
They're right. They're becoming popular because people are realizing how cute they look in them. So
right, and there's they're tall and they're athletic, and yeah. So that'll be fun to keep up with. And NCAA basketball, Audie Crooks of Iowa State.
Damn.
Talk about impressive. Killing it. She is averaging more points than minutes per game. What a stat.
Well, is it due to the fact that she's not playing that many minutes or can't play that many minutes?
But either way, she's scoring. Think about all the people that are playing minutes and not scoring. She broke her own school record versus Indiana, 47 points. She's just a beast. But you're right. I mean, how long is she playing? Can she play longer? I don't know. But she's scoring.
She's a big girl.
She is a big girl.
6'3". I was like, oh boy.
And some mass.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. She's strong. She's athletic. She's crushing.
Good for her.
And Duke took down the Florida Gators 67-66 in a close game on the men's side. And then Syracuse beat the 13th ranked Tennessee team last night, 62-60. Go Orange. I try to keep up with Syracuse a little bit for my dad. But they're usually fun to watch. And then the men's AP rankings came out. USC is at 23, not terrible. Maybe they'll climb up.
Could be better, but I think that's the best we've been doing in a while. So that's
seems like it. And Texas is nowhere in sight, which I still just can't figure that out. But OU's nowhere in sight. A&M, Houston's at 8, still holding on. Tillman Fertitta's son Patrick was just appointed to take over his father's spot, actually, on the University of Houston Board of Regents, which Governor Abbott made official, I think, yesterday. Stay involved in Houston. Stay involved in probably sports and all that, following after his dad. Texas Tech's at 19. Michigan is at 3. Duke is at 4. Arizona is at 2. Moving on to NBA, WNBA. Have you been keeping up with this WNBA max salary changes at all?
Yes and no. You know, they were all wearing the shirts and they're definitely trying to push for more salary. But what's the latest?
So there was a deadline of November 31st. To see what was going to happen. So the players want this raised. They're trying to raise salary caps and raise the maximum base salary to $1 million starting in 2026. And the minimum salary would jump to align more with the league's revenue growth and obviously increase pay.
Mm-hmm.
Which I get. I mean, they should. But obviously the max doesn't even mean every player gets it. It's the top. And it's still a massive difference between what NBA,
the bottom and the top, yeah,
exactly, and WNBA,
not a multi-million-dollar contract. TBD.
And Cooper Flagg, at 18 years old, has become the second youngest player in NBA history to score 30-plus points in a single game, which he just did against their win against Chicago, trailing only none other than your favorite, the Big L.
I hope he beats all LeBron's records. But no, I mean, that kid, he should be a senior in high school still. Like, this kid is badass. It's insane.
Very talented. Poor Chris Paul. I've always kind of liked him. He was sent home and released. Yes, just released by the Clippers last night. It was like 2:30 Eastern time. And Paul posted, just found out I'm being sent home. Okay.
It's kind of a shock.
Yeah, the Clippers said they were parting with him. It's not from his underperformance. They'll help him with his next step in his career. Well, obviously, it's coming from underperformance to some extent.
I mean, yeah.
Like, why would you even say that? Like, your team's not doing well, and it's not just his fault. It's true.
Not you.
But it's also, you can't why even just say that it's not because of his underperformance? Has to be part of it, or else you wouldn't get rid of him.
Yeah, exactly.
And he seems like a good guy. He doesn't seem like somebody that's making bad headlines or
no, he's
causing
not a
problems
LeBron
within the team. Now, the thing we come back to always. College football in Ohio and Indiana remain undefeated.
Well, this is like the situation that we were talking about in the beginning. They're playing really shitty teams like Old Dominion. That is also maybe a factor to that undefeatedness.
And probably a factor of why I don't know anything about Indiana. I don't even know anyone from Indiana.
Don't hear
it's like
them.
the most irrelevant state / school / I don't know what. But for them to remain undefeated and obviously have not played massive games where it's even been brought to my attention to have any sway one way or the other. But go Indiana and go Ohio. Good for them.
What's
if they
Indiana's
know how to stack,
mascot? I don't
maybe
even know.
I have no clue. Couldn't tell you. But if they are working their schedule, maybe they knew what other people didn't, and to make their schedule like that. And I'm sure Ohio State didn't care if they played Texas or not. They probably knew they'd beat them anyway. But as far as Indiana goes, I'm sure they stacked up some lower level wins to get those.
Games.
Yeah. 24 programs as of now will have new head coaches next season.
I was trying to understand this stat. I was like, does that seem like a lot? Does that not seem like a lot? Because there's hundreds of schools, so it's like not too crazy. And some of these schools, do we even know who they are? Are they top schools? I don't know. What's kind of your opinion on it?
I think the answer is no. And you're right. So I looked it up. So last year there were 30 that left. So it is all relative. Okay. I just think that it seems like a lot more. And since Lane Kiffin moving and Brian Kelly being fired and all these talk of the big coaches kind of in the spotlight and more of the headlines about coaches making moves, that it seems like it's a bigger deal and that all this is going on and there's all this unsettling, in the coaching world of college football. But to your point, no, I mean, it's obvious. It's less than last year. I just think that might be some bigger moves and some bigger changes.
That's fair.
And it just makes it seem like it's more.
Yeah, pulls more weight.
Totally. Florida finalized a 6-year deal to make Tulane's coach, John Sembrell, the head coach. He's 42-11 as head coach. And one of those losses this year was to my UTSA Roadrunners, by the way. Beep, beep. I forgot to give credit to that game when they took down Tulane.
I was going to say, that's the highlight of your season over there.
I know. Beep, beep. Birds up. Birds up. Beep, beep. It's a Roadrunner.
I didn't see this part. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a Roadrunner?
And funny enough, it's actually
like
the same chaparral. Yeah, it's a one-finger difference, Brogan. We're a thumb and a pointer.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
No, it's the same. My Westlake Chaparrals, this was also Go Shops. So birds up, Go Shops. I know, look at us go in the Roadrunner family.
There we go. It's they're all universal.
Totally. Michigan loses to beep beep. Michigan loses to Ohio State. Snowy game. I love my snow football. And Michigan fans, I have to say, there was a lot of snow, and Michigan fans are pretty loyal. And I have to say, they left quite early from what it looked like. And the players did not. They stayed on the field to defend their logo. Remember last year, I think they stuck a flag or something in the logo. There was something that Michigan felt like they needed to defend.
Oh. Ryan Day or something people were saying he's very classy because he took his players off the field. But I don't think it was class. I think he was just like, hey, I don't want to get fined. Get the hell off the field. Come on. So I don't know how classy that was. He just didn't want to pay money or pay fines.
That's true. And then there's the mascot, Brutus.
Oh, the fucking nut.
We can't forget that guy. What? Crosses out the M in the end zone and then wrote the Ohio script of Ohio in the snow. Brutus was on our list of annoying.
Balls.
Yes, he sure does. Annoying mascots. I will never understand Ohio State, or Brutus.
It's literally
but they did win. Yeah, is that what it is?
It's a nut. Yeah.
Oh, I had no clue.
Nut. Yeah,
that is so funny. Makes no sense. Tom Brady was there. Obviously, he's a big Michigan fan, played there, went there. And then Matt Patricia of Ohio State was a coach for him when he was at the Patriots. Okay, I, for the most part, love Tom Brady's fashion. I think he's very put together.
With his hair plugs?
clean cut. He puts his glasses on sometimes, and he's just got his own swag. But this hat that he was wearing, sometimes I really questioned myself on his. I don't even know what you'd call it. I wouldn't even say that it's feminine. I don't even know what the word is. It was one of those hats that like flap down and cover your ears, but he had it like tied up on the top of his head.
Oh. I was
It
gonna
was
say
quite
maybe he
a
didn't want
look.
sunburn, but no, that
No,
wasn't it.
not in the snow.
Not the
Um,
snow.
no
There's no
idea.
justification for that then.
No idea. Yes. And he gave a big shout out yesterday to his niece, Maya Brady, who he said is the most dominant Brady in the family by far. I thought that was nice. She won the inaugural AUSL Athletes Unlimited Softball League. For those that didn't
Good
know,
for
like
her.
myself, I assumed it was softball league, but didn't know the other championship with the Talons, and now has been selected as the #1 overall in the league expansion draft. Good for her. And I know she crushed at UCLA, and he'd always show up to her games and support, which I always thought was nice.
Athletic family.
Athletic family for sure. And then Ohio State's offensive coordinator, Brian Hartline, is set to become South Florida's head coach. That's pretty big news. I mean, the offensive coordinator for Ohio State obviously has done a good job, been successful. And there he goes
Absolutely.
too.
That's how they're
South
advancing in
Florida.
their career. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how he does at South Florida.
Yep. USC took down UCLA.
Oh, great game. Good win. I love everything about that.
Great win. Texas versus A&M. I know we touched on it earlier, but I just still can't get over that Texas won and beat the previously undefeated A&M team 27-17. I mean,
It
Texas
was
just showed
so
up all
impressive.
around. So
They
impressive.
did. They did. Arch, I mean, it looks better and better each game. Aggies, I'm sure they walked away with their heads or with their tail between their legs.
I will give the Aggies credit about their band. It is impressive. They are so good and they're so goofy. And I do think they have a really good school fight song.
Do they?
But
What
that's
is
the
it?
only credit.
Can you
No, I don't know the words, but I just know the like rhythm of the band. But
let's hear it.
no, and they marched down Congress, which was the first time in years. I mean, that always
Yeah.
used to be the thing on Thanksgiving Day when they used to play here. They would march down Congress, but it had been a while. So I know a lot of people went out to see that. I was not one of them, Brogan, to see the band, but they did do that.
I was going to say
Both head coaches. This is actually interesting. In the American Championship on Friday between North Texas and Tulane have already accepted new jobs next season, which, by the way, I am still very proud of North Texas. They're really making a little splash in the football scene. But the last time this has happened for a conference championship game was in 2012, and that was Northern Illinois and Kent State. They're coaching out their season. I know it's not a national championship title or anything else, but they're sticking with their team before they go to their new jobs.
loyalty.
Speaking of loyalty, one of our most loyal listeners, Chandler, and one of my favorite people, massive Kansas State fan, and their Kansas State head coach announced that this week he'll be announcing his retirement.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the incoming coach is the current Texas A&M offensive coordinator and a former Wildcat, Colin Klein. So he's lined up to replace him. A lot of Kansas State fans seem happy about this. And as Chandler told me this morning, time will tell. So I guess that's true. We don't know until the new coach is in and the next season gets played. But that will be good. Another offensive coordinator, though, leaving. Like, it's not just the head coach that has such an important role. Oftentimes it is the, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. So it'll be interesting to see how these other spots get filled as well. One of your other favorites, Diego Pavia's brother, was arrested for public intoxication for the second time this season. This time against during their game against Tennessee.
Like absolute clown. I mean, Vanderbilt's coach should tell him to sit down or just not come.
Don't come, stay home. And just like you said previously, this is like Patrick Mahomes' brother all over again. Make him stay home.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's just such a bad look. It's that university is so private school. They are classy and well educated, and he's just embarrassing them.
David Portnoy. I saw him talking to Pavia, and he was talking about the Heisman Trophy celebration, whatever. And if he was running, he's like, "Oh, yeah, they haven't sent me my invitation yet. I don't know how many seats I'm going to get, blah, blah." And I'm thinking to myself, please don't bring your brother if you go there. Just leave him behind.
Stay home.
Stay home. And David should have told him that. He doesn't
I'm
hold
sure
back
he
on
will.
what he says.
Yeah,
He should have.
I'm sure he would.
Taking it back to our Thanksgiving NFL games, a win for the Packers and the Cowboys.
Good
What
for
is
them.
going on with the Chiefs? I mean, a real tumble from the top.
I think they've run its course. We're ready
And we
for
called
something
that
new.
at the beginning of the season, which is why we said Taylor could perform, because there was nothing to worry about. We knew it. Like it's time. All these guys just need to sit back. Mahomes, Kelsey,
Kelsey needs to really capitalize on his number one podcasting career. Did you see his was the number one sports?
Number one sports podcast. Crushing it.
Where do you think we fall within that? I'm just kidding.
Like probably number 10. No, not 10. They did the top 10. We were probably like 11 or 12.
Okay. I fully agree. So.
Totally. We'll break in there.
There we go.
9 straight wins for the Broncos. They beat the Chiefs. How did they almost lose to the Commanders?
Oh, thank God. I don't know. That was that wasn't pretty.
No, but you beat the Chiefs and you almost lose to the Commanders. Doesn't make sense.
No.
Houston Texans have won 4 straight AFC games, 3 of them actually AFC South games. They're really having a strong season.
I think they probably have one of the best defenses in the NFL right now.
Big wins against the Bills and the Colts. Very surprising. And my Giants got absolutely crushed by the Patriots. Did you see that kick?
Was he drunk? What happened?
I have never seen anything like that.
You little athletes, sir.
Professional athletes. Danny DeVito was on the Manning cast with Eli and Peyton, obviously, and they were stunned. Like, literally acted like they had never seen any. I mean, complete disasters. Young Wei Koo, I mean, he butchered his field goal attempt. For anyone that didn't see it, like nothing I've ever, like kicked the ground before he even got close to kicking the ball. It was an
it wasn't like he
disaster.
Missed steps or anything. It looked
no, he straight up kicked
all the way
ground
up and then kicked the ground. I'm like, whoa, dude. What happened?
And he's supposedly a good kicker. I mean, he's from South Korea and moved to the U.S. as a child and is one of the few Korean-born players in NFL history. But guess what? That kick is going to go down in history as well, because I don't think anyone could explain that.
That was something to watch. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Yes. This I thought was very interesting and something new. Eva Longoria, who I haven't heard much about lately, and the NFL have teamed up for a new dining series highlighting local eats.
Yum. I love it. I love her. Desperate Housewives.
Throwing it way back. I've always liked her and her back from her Tony Parker days and all of that. But she's from South Texas and she has a big love for food and football. So she's blending the two for this series, which she'll follow celebrities and NFL players for their best local bites in team cities. So she's the host and the executive producer. She said her goal is to celebrate the people and places that give football its soul. I think it's a great concept of a show. I'm surprised there actually hasn't been something like it before.
Wait, so is she going... How is she teaming up with NFL for these new... What's the premise of it?
Well, because that's football and food. So she wants to go into these cities that have NFL teams and connect with some of the players on the teams, you know, or celebrities or whoever is involved in this, in the NFL culture of that city. And then they'll find the local good dining spots, probably like the hole in the wall or whatever. I love it. I think it is so great. And so it's going to be a 3-part series that'll be out next year. And her team is the Cowboys, of course. America's team. Wouldn't have picked anything different. But
she strikes me as a Cowboys lover.
100%. So I think that obviously she's going to do her rounds and make her rounds in Dallas, but it'll be interesting to see what other cities she hits. I love it.
Where do you think she would go if she came to Austin?
Counter Cafe.
What's that?
Oh, I'm going to have a chat with Adam. Counter Cafe, I think, is the absolute best for breakfast. I missed the original Lamar location, but the one that's over off of 29th is still good. So that would be there. I would say Jay Carver's. Probably Uchi. That always stays on the list.
We're going tomorrow for my birthday.
Oh my goodness. That'll be nice. Where else do I think should we probably Franklin's? Everyone goes to Franklin's.
Okay.
Where else
What about
would
like
you
Red
say?
Ash?
I think
Do
Red
you
Ash
like
has
Red Ash?
gone I think it's gone downhill. I used to love it, but I think that Jay Carver's is better.
Don't tell Autumn that.
Um, oh, I will tell Autumn. I'm trying to think where else. I think those would be the
Those are
some of the places
staples.
she'd go.
Except I don't know Counter Cafe, but sounds like Austin needs to get an
Jeffrey's
NFL
probably
team.
that still
Yeah.
stays in there. Yeah, exactly. We need an NFL team first. But no, I just love to see, even randomly enough, Jason Kelsey was in Bend over the summer, I think it was earlier in the year. And he went to these little tiny breakfast places just by happen chance. And I hadn't even heard of them. And he was just raving about them. But I just think it's cool to see where people like that choose to go and, who leads them there. And I just think it's a great concept. So I'll probably
Do you
watch
think
that.
he
And I'm
knew
not a
about
big
the
tea watcher.
post office?
No, he didn't. And
No,
if
he
he
didn't
would
know
like
about
to get Two Girls, One Ticket on the New Heights podcast, I'd be happy to tell him all about the history
Bend, Oregon.
of Minnie Westman. So
Okay.
I know everyone wants to know.
I do.
But
Yeah, they do.
yeah. So we're excited for that. Could not be more excited for Thursday night's game in Detroit against the Cowboys, America's team, and the Lions. It is a
It's gonna be a
massive
great
game
game.
for both of them, and I hope it's one of the better games of the season because I feel like the hype behind both of those teams, Lions was kind of up and then it kind of went down. They need this win. Cowboys has kind of been building. Obviously, after their last wins. Okay, both of them need the win. And how did I not know that one of my forever favorite NFL players, Amon-Ra St. Brown, was a USC graduate and fellow
Oh,
Trojan?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's a SoCal guy. He also went to Mater Dei and USC, just the typical Orange County trajectory. So I love it.
He has been injured or is injured. I guess he has an ankle sprain and has missed the last couple practices and is still questionable for Thursday. I hope he's
Lions.
back.
Mm-hmm. I hope so
He is
too.
crushing. Yeah, he's very good. All right. This is our weekly picks.
Oh,
Two Girls, One Ticket.
joy.
Let's get going.
Your gambling dollars
Get your
out.
tickets out. Okay, Cowboys, Lions.
I know the Cowboys have some good momentum going, but I'm going to go Lions.
Love to see it. It's number one priority for the week. That's all I have to say. Titans versus Browns.
Browns. I mean, Titans have bad defense.
Seahawks versus Falcons.
You already know what I am going to say.
Sam.
Get them rolling. We got the Seahawks. Come on, Sam. Come on, babe.
Let's do it. Colts versus Jags.
Oh, who do you think?
Colts.
We love her.
Yes. She's going to be back. Commanders versus Vikings.
So do you know if the Commanders QB is going to be back? I think that will kind of
make a difference.
A lot. If he is going to, I'll go Vikings. I mean, their offense is really bad. Commanders.
Both teams are struggling.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't even know. I juggle back and forth between the two.
worst of the bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bengals versus Bills.
Bills.
Always. Saints versus Bucks.
Bucks for sure.
Steelers versus Ravens.
It's definitely going to be a close game. I'm going to go Ravens.
All right, Dolphins versus Jets.
That's tough. They're both pretty horrible. But
Dolphins
I'm
are
go
on a little streak, though. Yeah, they are. They really are. Okay, go Dolphins. Go Mike McDaniels.
Okay, all the above.
Broncos versus Raiders.
Broncos.
Rams, Cardinals.
I am gonna go Rams.
All right, Bears, Packers.
Packers.
Texans, Chiefs.
I'm going to say Chiefs. I mean, this is a must win for the Chiefs.
It is a must win, or they've just completely crumbled and are
They
done,
are
which is
horrible.
fine too.
Yeah.
But the Texans are looking strong and they're coming off good wins. So I think the Texans could do it. But you're right. Chiefs need it.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, did we just randomly happen to save our best for last? Eagles versus Chargers?
Oh, God. Where's your saying?
I'm not going to say best for last as far as games. I'm just saying my fly, Eagles fly.
Oh, God. I was waiting for that one. I guess unfortunately, but fortunately for you, I'm going to say Eagles.
All right. Fly, Eagles fly. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. I'm sorry we missed you last week. I'm sure you missed us too.
So much.
Don't forget, like, follow, subscribe, and we will be back next week with more.
Have we figured out what our fans like more? Is it Tata or Chow?
Oh, we need to get some more input.
We need some feedback.
Some feedback. So if anyone has a preference for Tata or Chow on how to sign out, or audios, or anything else, let us know. Have a good week, and happy birthday to Brogan. Bye.
Happy birthday to me. Bye.